Timeout. 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 FC Bayern. Max Eberl. Stay away. Stop. Stay away. Stop. Stop, drop, and roll. Because this is unacceptable. This is a red flag. This is an avoid situation. This is not what we need to be going after. Liverpool have rejected approach from FC Bayern for Luiz Diaz after a call made by director Max Eberl. Liverpool insist on intention to keep Luiz Diaz with no plans to negotiate. Bayern have been informed. There's still no agreement close over a new deal for Diaz at LFC. So, Bayern inquired about Luiz Diaz. And Liverpool, thank you. Honestly, Liverpool, I know you beat us to Verts. Really, that stung a little bit. But thank you for rejecting us. Thank you for telling us no. Thank you for turning us away. Because this is not a guy I want at Bayern. This is not a guy I see anywhere close to a solution for Bayern. He is 28 years old. Now, I have nothing against bringing players into their prime, but Luiz Diaz is in no kind of prime. He is a purple patch merchant. Luiz Diaz is the furthest thing we need for the left winger position at Bayern. We need someone like Olise who will come in and perform most of the time throughout the season, consistency, healthy, fit, all of that. That is a guy we need on the left wing position. Now, I'm not familiar with Luiz Diaz's injury issues or anything, but what I can tell you and what I can 100% tell you with a straight face and in all honesty, I know Luiz Diaz is not a consistent player. I know he is the definition of a purple patch merchant. And I think all real Liverpool fans, not delusional Liverpool fans that will hype up their players no matter what, any Liverpool fans with a working brain screwed into their skull, with their skull intact, protecting that brain, they will tell you, in all honesty, Luiz Diaz has been an on and off player. He has been a purple patch player for Liverpool ever since he's arrived, especially the last season and a half. He has been the epitome of a purple patch merchant. And you know why I also know this? My brother's a Liverpool fan, and throughout every season, there's always 1 or 2 months my brother chirps up to me and says, look at us. We have Luiz Diaz with Salah on the right, Luiz Diaz on the left. No one's going to stop us. And I tell him every time, are you sure? Is this not just a purple patch for Luiz Diaz? He's going to be consistent the rest of the season. He's like, yeah, bro, it's different. Stop doubting Liverpool. Stop hating on Liverpool, bro. He's going to lead us to glory. And guess what? He drops off. He disappears. He doesn't score for a month or two. He doesn't provide any impact for Liverpool for a month or two, and then he returns again. A repeating cycle. That is the furthest thing we need at Bayern. So Max Eberl, avoid. Luiz Diaz is not a solution. Luiz Diaz shouldn't even be an option. I definitely much rather prefer a Kaoru Mitoma. I would 100% prefer a Kaoru Mitoma. Now, is he kind of a purple patch player? Yes. But he would not garner the wages that Luiz Diaz would garner. He would not cost as much as Luiz Diaz would cost. Not at all. And he would come in with an understanding that he won't be an out-and-out starter. He's going to fight for the starting position, but he's coming in to be a squad role and a player that starts at times. Kaoru Mitoma. Luiz Diaz would come to this club, expect to be a starter, and whenever he's on his purple patch moments, he would start. And anytime he's off form, which is for many parts of a season, he will ride that bench and he will be unhappy, and I could see him being a sore ass in the dressing room, a weak link in the dressing room, in all honesty. So Liverpool, I applaud you guys for wanting to reject the approach from Bayern. I really do, because you've done us a favor here, and I respect that. So yes, you beat us to Verts, but good job, Liverpool. I hope you guys have a great transfer window the rest of the year, because this was excellent news when I saw this, because there was news coming that Bayern were looking at Luiz Diaz all of a sudden. Now, earlier in the summer, we were actually looking at Gakpo as an option. That didn't seem possible, so we went for the number 2 guy on the left for Liverpool, which is Luiz Diaz here. And Liverpool as well aren't looking to sell, so I'm very grateful for that. If I were to choose between Bayern, if Bayern were to try and push to get Luiz Diaz or someone from Liverpool, either Gakpo or Luiz Diaz, I would 100% rather Bayern focus their efforts on trying to convince Liverpool to sell Gakpo and trying to convince Cody Gakpo to come to Bayern. That would be the player I would put effort into convincing Liverpool to let leave. Not Luiz Diaz. No, not Luiz Diaz. So that's kind of my take on this. Avoid, avoid, avoid. Stop, drop, and roll. I don't know if Max Eberl can do that. I don't know if he could drop quick enough. The fire might get to him. He's not in the best physical shape, but shout out to Max. Ozempic is a thing. So let's hop on that if you can. You have money. You have money. So yeah, and the interesting thing here, this is kind of a different topic that stemmed from this news. And it just goes to tell you, again, I've made a video on in the past, how Bayern fan base is low-key. Bayern fan base is at the lowest IQ it's ever been. Bayern fans will see this news. They'll see that Liverpool rejected Bayern's approach. And I saw people all online saying, sack Eberl, he's trash. He can't get anything done. He's garbage. He fumbled this transfer. First of all, the transfer was never in play. He simply approached Liverpool to see if they could sell. It's not like he got Luiz Diaz to agree for the transfer and then Liverpool rejected it because he couldn't come to terms. Liverpool just didn't want to sell. So Max Eberl can't force Liverpool to try and sell. Now he could go back and try and convince them with an offer or something, whatever. He can try and convince them, but he went and just inquired if they would sell, and they said no. And stupid, low IQ Bayern fan base instantly go online and say, Max Eberl is a fraud. He isn't good enough. He has no pull. No one takes him seriously. No, they didn't want to sell Luiz Diaz. It's like if Bayern went to and inquired to Real Madrid about Kylian Mbappe. They're not going to sell Kylian Mbappe because, first of all, it's Mbappe. They just got him. And second of all, he's not a player they want to sell. So you cannot pull someone away from a club if the club has no intention of letting them go. Because remember, that player is on contract. Luiz Diaz is on contract. He can't just rip up the contract and negate it. So this was just a little wake-up call, a little bit of a recap, a little bit of a justification as to why this is a good thing that Bayern were rejected by Liverpool towards their approach of Luiz Diaz. Now, another thing I want to talk about is this desperation to get a player in. We're still very early into the summer transfer window. I feel like I see a lot of people whenever, like, for example, this news here, seeing that Liverpool are rejecting Bayern's inquiry of Luiz Diaz, they say, oh my gosh, this window is a disaster. No one wants to come. Though summer transfer window just started. There is so much time to bring someone in. And this is where a lot of fans are just too reactionary. They're not patient enough to just let the club do what they want to do. Let the club go about their business and trust the guys in charge to bring someone in. There's this rush to get someone in as soon as we can into the transfer window. Why? Because if we bring them in now, they can't play in the Club World Cup. And if we rush someone in now, we might miss out on other opportunities throughout the summer. So the club needs to be patient. And a lot of bozos in this fan base aren't patient. But I'm one of the patient ones. I understand that there's a whole summer window to go. Someone will come in. A solution will be made for that left wing position. I trust it. And it's not Luiz Diaz. We can't just be desperate to bring someone in on the left wing and do a panic buy of the sort and bring in a guy as Luiz Diaz, a guy like Luiz Diaz, who does not fit our profile, does not fit our needs at all at Bayern. So thank you, Liverpool, for rejecting our approach. In Max Eberl, let's pivot. There's Malik Fofana at Lyon who just got relegated. Rafael Leao is open to the Bayern move. You just have to negotiate with AC Milan. There are players out there. If Barcelona can't afford Nico Williams, we're destination number 2 for Nico Williams. Rodrigo is playing 15 minutes after 4 games of the Club World Cup under Xabi Alonso. That guy probably wants to leave. There are many other options and better options than Luiz Diaz. It's been your boy Hokage Puya. I'll see you guys in the next one. Shout out FT Bayern. Mia San Mia. Peace.